friends, Leslie from A Friend to Knit With. Welcome to episode 58 of A Friend to Knit With podcast. Today is December 11th, and it is so fantastic right now because these big fluffy snowflakes are coming down, and it actually looks like it's sticking. I'm going to film a little video and show you what it looks like, or what I keep being distracted. I'm going to try not to be distracted. But if you have stumbled upon this channel, it is a channel mostly about knitting. So if you love to knit as much as I love to knit, then you're in the right spot. I can be found on Instagram as Leslie Friend, and I am friend to friend on Ravelry. I'm just going to start with what I'm wearing because I absolutely love it. It is the essential sweater, and it is pretty essential. I think I need a couple more of these. It is a wonderful pattern by Darling J'adore, and the yarn I used is Paulette Donegal DK by Boboleros, and it just made, I haven't worked, it's a superwash merino, 85% superwash merino and 15% Donegal neb. And what that little neb is are these little clusters of yarn that give these little nebby sort of things. And this is a hand-dyed yarn, which I usually go for. I'm a pretty, solid type of yarn. That's usually what I like to wear, but this is pretty subdued, and I just think it's beautiful. Absolutely love it. So this is the essential sweater. It worked out really well because it did grow rather large when I blocked it, but I ended up sticking it in the dryer, and now sleeves are a tiny bit too short. But I think when I block it the next time, I can get it the right length. I'm just gonna have to, I just left it in the dryer until it just dried, and I will get it out and then, to where it's almost dry, and then I can block it. But the length, this is pretty much what I knit the length to be. So I think I'm really happy with it. It's, shorter, but not cropped, and you can always get it longer. So throwing superwash yarn in the dryer, I don't know. I'm not an expert on superwash yarn at all. I've only ever made one other sweater with superwash, and it wasn't a good choice. I made the Sunset Highway, and it was a, remember that? I don't know. It's like 5 or 6 years ago, but it's a colorwork sweater, and I don't think that is a good choice for a colorwork. The yarn it's been stripped of all the sort of fibers that stick out on a lot of yarn, and it's been stripped of all that with chemicals. So that's the other things, people don't like to knit with it because of that, but it has been stripped so it doesn't adhere to the other strand of yarn. So when you block it, a lot of times the color work, they kind of become one. That doesn't happen with a superwash when you're working with the color work. So anyhow, it worked well with this pattern though. And this is a knitted the round, start at the top, cast on. It has a folded neckline, and I ended up doing a 1x1 rib and the 1x1 twisted rib for the other. I just did a regular one, but on the body, I did the twisted here and the twisted here. So isn't that so pretty? I love the variation in this, and the little nubs are amazing. So they're black and brown and cream, and yes, just seem to go with a lot of things in my wardrobe. I've already worn this sweater a few times, and it doesn't grow when wearing, which a lot of people say their superwash sweaters grow as they wear them. but this has not at all. As you can see, I keep pulling on the sleeves to try to get them a little longer. The sleeves are a little fuller on this essential sweater. I like that. And I mentioned on the last episode, I work in a clothing boutique, and a lot of the sweaters just have those wider sleeves right now. So, you know, like this. They're not like a close fitting type of sweater. I think it's nice to have both in your wardrobe, like my everyday the everyday pullover is definitely a more fitted sweater, which I love too, but this is nice. And it's amazing that it's so warm yet light. It's a really nice yarn for a perfect sweater. I'm gonna try to find something not too fluffy. That's the other thing, is most of my sweaters lately have had mohair in them, and this is just nice that it's smooth. I will let you know if I find any other yarn to make with this, but I'm gonna definitely do a little research. The only other thing I have off of my needles are socks. And you know I'm not a big sock knitter. This is the Sunday sock by Petite Knit, and it is dreamy. I made a pair in January of this year and gave those to Libby. Those were out of Quince Owl, and she loves them. She wears them all the time in the house and in her apartment in New York, and she just said they're so cozy. These were out of yarn that was gifted to me, and it's really dreamy. It is the Juniper Moon Farms Saxony, and it's 85% 75% cashmere and 25% merino wool. And they are so cozy. I'm gonna put them on right now because I don't have any socks on right now because I just wore my Birkenstocks over here. And oh yeah, I'm filming where I used to film. I was kicked out of the office with kids home and everything. So I said, no problem. I'm gonna come. This is a space that we have above the garage. It's kind of nice. Feels like home. So anyhow, that is the other thing I have off of my needles. They go so fast. You could actually have these made as a gift before Christmas if you're watching this in a few days. They are on a US 6, a 4mm needle, and a chunkier yarn. They just truly, they're a fast knit. I made mine a little smaller. I made them I'm a size 8 shoe, but I made a 6.5 to 7.5 size, and they work really well for me because I can sort of see, I just pull them. I don't like loose socks. I like them to be cozy. So anyhow, these are great. Petite Knit also had, I mentioned some little knits last time, socks and, you know, like tree decorative things you could do, like an advent or put them on the tree or whatever. I have a couple I'm going to show you, but I wanted to mention this was a little free pattern that she also put out, which would also be very cute on your table at Christmas. But I don't think I'm going to have any time to make one of those this year, but I printed the pattern and I definitely want to make those at some point. Okay, the other thing, I finished 2 other knits. One is a gift knit and one is for me. I mentioned I was making toast out of the Jeopard yarn that I bought at Loop in London, and I love it. I think I'm going to update the pattern for this yarn because you just need one ball of it, and it's priced well and they feel great. So I was able to get a pair of toast and a sweater. So this was the tiny sweaters. There's a tiny sweater, tiny sock, tiny hat, tiny mitten, I think. And I have 2 done. I'm going to make them. I have 6 more to do just for our dining room table for the place setting. And yeah, they are cute. They take like 15 minutes. So And my husband said, wouldn't they be cute on top of a wine bottle? And that would be a great little gift. A little pom-pom on here. Or you can make it a scarf, tie it on there. That would be cute too. So anyhow, this is one skein of Jeopard for a pair of toast mitts. And yeah, I should put these on now. Since my sleeves are a little short. I'm going to get them the right size, I promise. So anyhow, okay, the other thing I finished was a pair of Beatrice Mitts out of the Turtlepurl self-striping yarn. And these are a gift for someone. And I love them. Love this yarn. Love the colors. And love that it just looks like, you know, self-striping yarn is just amazing. So those are the Beatrice Mitts. And I also wanted to give a hat, but I think I'm going to keep it for myself. But I wanted a hat out of this amazing yarn. This was when Knit Crate had their subscriptions, and I received 2 in one of my crates, and I started a hat. I'm just not sure if it's going to work though, because, well, I started it with just this and it didn't seem thick enough. And what I should have done was just gone down needle size, but I went down a needle size and I added a mohair. So I have a very dense hat. I don't know if it's going to be too dense. Is there such a thing? But this is the classic Rib Beanie by Pearl Soho. It's a free pattern. I've made it before. It's a great pattern. And, you know, I'm just not sure. I don't even think I put it on Ravelry to see what kind of needle I used and yarn. But this is a great pattern. I'm going to go ahead and finish it. I'll probably just keep it for myself. I don't want anybody to have too hot of a head. But maybe I'll make the other one on, I went down to a US 4 needle. So I'm going to go ahead and maybe with the other skein, just make it without the mohair. I'm going to continue this one though. I have like 3 more inches and then the crown decreases because it's just a rib. Let's see how this would work. But it's folded. It fits. It doesn't feel too thick when it's on, but it feels like carpet, like a heavy carpet. So we'll see. It's just very thick. Maybe I just haven't made a hat like this in a while. Maybe it's supposed to be that thick. So anyhow, I have that on my needles. What else do I have on my needles? My Claudia Quintanilla. I've talked about this in the last few podcasts, but this is her Memory Lane book. It is spectacularly gorgeous. The detail in every one of her patterns is just absolutely amazing. And what I did find is, oh, look at this. I really want this. The little pearl buttons on the sleeves. So it's just pretty much a plain sweater with just a little bit of detail that makes it super special. So I am making the Aureliano, and that is it. And I love it. But I want to show you a couple more because the one with the butterflies, but there's just, this is a great one too. Oops. Love that. Love those colors. Very neutral, subdued. Trying to find the one with the butterflies. But you won't be sorry with this book. It's just, and like I said, the basic shape of so many of her sweaters are great. I love this too. Just sort of embroidering a little emblem on one side. Where's the butterfly? Hold on. Look at this one. Isn't that, is that focusing on it there? Oh, isn't that beautiful? Love, love, love that one. And that is just embroidered on afterwards. So you can kind of, you know, pretty much do that on anything. So I started this. This is all I have done. I was really wanting to cast on, and then I remembered my obligation to something else. So I cast on and thought, what are you doing? No, get back to your other project. So, because I wanted, once I dive into this, I am going in all the way. So I need to just take a breath and wait, and just, it can wait. You're gonna just be so good when I get to you. So anyhow, I have been working on another Hello Friend because I am filming a video of the steps to make it as I go. So I am, you know, just filming as I go. So this is what kept calling my name, and I am almost finished. I am in the process of picking up some sleeves on this sleeve, or on this armband, and then this one will be finished, and the pattern should be out next week. And I am going to film just a short Hello Friend video. So if you're not into it, I won't have another podcast until January. But if you are interested in seeing it and seeing, you know, when it's released, then I will have that video out, but that's not a regular podcast. So it's just to talk about this, the Hello Friend vest. And I am really excited about just, you know, finally getting it out there, because it's taken me a couple years. I started it, or I made it after I broke my wrist. It was the first thing that I made when I was able to start knitting again. And that's why I named it Hello Friend, because I just felt, I've knit every day of my life since I don't know, since forever. I feel like literally every day I have knit. So when I couldn't, I really felt it was extremely hard, which so many of my non-knitter friends don't understand, but I know so many of you do. So once I got back to it and I was knitting, I was like, oh, Hello Friend. This is just where my heart just lives. So anyhow, that's why it's named that. But if you're not interested, then I will see you in January, and I can't wait. Just think, we have a whole nother year of new patterns that will be released out into the world, and choices of yarn and needle size and something to knit for us or others. And wow, what a gift we are given. So anyhow, you are a gift to me, and this community is a huge gift to me, and I am so very grateful for all of you. And I wish you a very Merry Christmas, very happy holiday, and a very happy New Year. And yes, I will see you in January. Until then, remember, you always have a friend to knit with. All right, take care. Bye. Mwah.